Hey, what's going on, guys? Me, Kova. Welcome back to another edition of Transfer Gossip. Again, every 2 or so days, we will be hitting up this gossip video, so make sure you do subscribe if you're new around here. But we are starting off with, I'd say it's a lower end deal. It's a deal for Newcastle. They're interested in this guy. He is a French defender called Lejeune from Eibar. Now, Eibar did decent enough in the Spanish league, considering, I don't think they're exactly a very good club. And I think he was a good part of it. And I say Newcastle ready to go in with a decent offer. Apparently it's about an £8.7 million deal for the French defender. Now, 1991, which means he's about, 24, 25-ish. And considering Eibar finished in the top half of the Spanish league last season on a very good goal difference, I think the defence had a huge part to play in that. And they were a decent side who were very hard to beat at times. And, I think that kind of plays like a kind of a sign as to why Newcastle are trying to sign this guy. So next up is Serge Aurier. Obviously, he's kind of been frozen out at PSG after bad behaviour as such. Tottenham will still be interested. They are ready to make a move for the PSG right back, and that is based on whether Kyle Walker will leave or not. They will go in for Aurier. They're not really too bothered about it, his disciplinary record, and they're ready to offer him a second chance. And what a great chance it would be playing the Premier League for Pochettino. Next up is Greg Whelan. He's getting linked with a move away from Stoke City. They kind of signed Darren Fletcher, so I don't know if that kind of plays a part in it or what, but Whelan is getting linked with a move away, and it's Championship clubs that are interested, with Aston Villa being the main one. They've seen a 500k bid rejected already for the Stoke veteran. Now, obviously, they're kind of trying to get him in because he's got Premier League experience. He's very, very experienced centre mid, and to be honest, from when I've seen him play, he actually does a really good job still for Stoke City. Next up is Lindelöf. When it ever loads up, he's the Benfica centre-back who got linked with a move to Manchester United in January. Didn't quite come off, and they've agreed a fee, apparently. Again, it's something that, as a channel, I said ages ago would happen, that they'd wait until the summer and then sign him from that title-winning Benfica team. I think they must have spent a bit more time watching him and making sure he'd be the right move. It's a scary thought. United having both Bailey and Lindelöf at the back. That could be an absolute crazy centre-back partnership. Mourinho looks like he's doing the exact right thing, what Manchester United needed. Signing long-term prospects rather than just straight quick fixes. Next up is a guy called Golovin. He is interested in Arsenal. It doesn't look like their transfer news is going to be good. Obviously, they don't have Champions League, but I don't think that should really affect Arsenal too much. They're closing in on the second signing of the summer after Kolasinac with a 10 million fee agreed for this guy. Never even heard of this guy, but he's 19, 20, so he's obviously a youngster coming through. Could be a really good sign. Another one of Wenger's low-key, really good signings that pay off in the long term. Who knows? But I haven't seen enough of this guy. Whether he come in as a centre mid and kind of boss the midfield, we don't know. Zlatan is next up, obviously being released by Manchester United. That has been confirmed. He's got two options. United may go back in for him. I can't see that happening. If they wanted him, they would have kept him for that second option. I think he's more likely to go to America, with LA Galaxy being the main destination for him. They are obviously known for signing big name players after they finished their careers as such, and Ibra would still be immense in the MLS. Let's just look at Didier Drogba, for example, scoring again recently. I think Ibrahimovic would absolutely tear up record books at the MLS League. Next up is Bertrand Traore. West Ham are trying to sign the Chelsea striker for 17 million, but face competition from other clubs such as Everton, Lille, Lyon, and Schalke are also interested in him. Alexandro is next up. He's getting linked with a move to Chelsea. They are also coming in as well. Obviously, it was Manchester City at one point. I think the Manchester City still will be interested, but Chelsea have also now registered an interest in the Juventus left back, but I've apparently been told they'll have to pay £52 million. Chris Wood is next up. Huddersfield will bid £15 million for the lead striker. Obviously, Huddersfield played with Kachunga up front last season. He was on loan. And in the end, it was a great bit of business. Kachunga done really well to fire them to the Premier League, but I don't know if they're going to get him permanently or try and get him on loan again. But they are still going to go in for Chris Wood anyway. They've seen enough of him last season. He absolutely banged goals in for Leeds, and as they almost got promoted as well, or at least got playoffs, there is bid 15 million to try and get him. Next up is Morata. Has apparently agreed personal terms with United. It's just apparently the clubs are struggling for a fee. Real Madrid are holding out for 50+ million. I could imagine Real Madrid trying to put a buyback clause in Morata's kind of like deal. I know they like don't really want to let him go, but at the end of the day, he's not going to get into the team ahead of Benzema. Obviously, there's rumours that they might go for Mbappe as well. I think they will go for Mbappe and sign him. And also, Aubameyang has also said like he'd quite happily walk to Madrid. So again, I don't know if they put a recall clause or whether like try and get a fee agreed for the future just in case they want to sign him back. But United do want him, and again, it's going to be likely to be like over 50 million. Belotti is next up. Again, another option for Manchester United. This one, they see Belotti as a Morata alternative, but would have to bid 70+ million. Now, the interesting thing is, apparently Belotti said, I don't even actually want to leave Torino. He's quite happy to stay there regardless of what bid they receive. So the ball's kind of in Torino's court. They don't have to sell. They're probably not interested in selling him. And they could try and build like a team around Belotti, a little bit similar to the scenario that Roma did in terms of keeping Totti and building a team around him. Dusan Tadic is next up. It seems like Liverpool are just determined to bring in at least one Southampton player every transfer window. They are apparently interested in Tadic now, but mind you, though, I have seen them interested in obviously Van Dijk, Bertrand, Tadic. It just seems to be like Liverpool will be linked with every Southampton player regardless anyway. Martin de Roon looks like his spell at the Riverside may be over. He could leave Middlesbrough in a 9 million Lazio move. I think Lazio have just sold Biglia to AC Milan. And they may get Martin de Roon as his replacement. Çalhanoğlu is next up. Arsenal to battle Lazio in a £19 million move for the Leverkusen playmaker. Now, that seems quite cheap to me. I know Bayer Leverkusen struggled a little bit recently, but that type of fee isn't what I'd expect for Çalhanoğlu. Again, he got rumored for like 30, 35 in previous transfer windows, so 19 million seems a little bit too cheap for me, unless like his contract's run out or something like that, which I'm unaware of. Next up is Davy Klaassen. I think this is quite a big one for me. Ajax won 26 million for their captain. Everton are the interested club. I think Everton will probably sign him, actually. I think he is exactly what Everton need. Could be a Barkley replacement and an excellent one at that. Only 24, European experience, a leader. It's exactly what Everton need, and I think it would be a fantastic signing because then they could have him in front of Schneiderlin and Gueye. Could be a good bit of business if they can get him in and obviously sell Barkley at a profit. Joe Hart next up. West Ham are ready to make a move for the Manchester City goalkeeper. Obviously come back for his loan spell at Torino. Didn't do too well for England the other night, but I think he is a solid keeper and it certainly would be an improvement for West Ham. Another player getting linked with a move to like West Ham in the Premier League is Griffiths. Three clubs, West Ham, West Brom and Newcastle, all ready to make a move for the Celtic striker, especially because he scored those two wonderful free kicks. He's on the small side, so I'm not sure whether like he'd suit the Prem. He looks a bit weak to me at times, but you never know until like they come down to the Premiership and give it a go. Especially like you know a few Scottish players that could do well. And finally, we end on Januzaj. Manchester United are willing to sell the Belgian international for £10 million. They're ready to just cut the losses, even though it would be a profit because he's a youth player. I just think he's not going to cut it at United, and Mourinho's that ruthless that you should be like, yeah, you got promised, but whatever, you're gone. So 10 million fee would be required for Januzaj. So there you go, guys. Lots of big rumours. I think it's got to be like who is going to be Man U's main striker next season, whether it's going to be Rashford, whether they're going to bring on Morata or Belotti. To me, it looks like it's going to be Morata, and that is probably the headline for today. But guys, if you did enjoy, make sure you do drop a like, and obviously subscribe if you're new around here, and I shall see you in the next one.